Good morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you all are fit and fine and studying safe at home. Children, the topic of today's class is adjective. Do you know? In every language, adjectives are important element of a sentence. Adjectives add important information about number, color, type, and other qualities of the nouns and pronouns in your sentences. So come and let's read about adjectives. What do you understand by adjective? An adjective is a word used with a noun to add something to its meaning, or in the simplest language, we can say that an adjective is a word which tells about the noun or pronoun, its quality, its type, its quantity, its number. That means it tells more about a noun or pronoun. That is called an adjective. For example, a beautiful doll, this cap, my umbrella, sad story. Here the word beautiful, this, my, and sad. They are the examples of adjectives. An adjective is usually put before the noun it describes. One more important thing you have to keep in your mind is an adjective is always placed just before a noun or pronoun. कि adjective हमेशा noun और pronoun से पहले आता है. Like she's a nice girl, I have 2 pens. Here the words nice and two are the adjectives. Now let's come to the kinds of adjectives. Children, there are 6 kinds of adjectives. The very first is adjective of quality, the next is adjective of quantity, adjective of number, demonstrative adjective, possessive adjective, and the last is interrogative adjectives. The first is adjective of quality. Adjective of quality, as you can assume by its name, that means it tells us about the quality of a noun or pronoun. जो word किसी भी noun या pronoun की quality के बारे में बताएंगे, they will be called the adjective of quality. For example, Mumbai is a big city. He bought a beautiful car. Anusha is a nice girl. Here the words big, beautiful, and nice. These words are telling the quality of city, car, and girl. So they are the adjectives of quality. One more important thing about adjective of quality is that adjective of quality is the only adjective which can also be used as separated from the noun and put after verbs like is, am, are, was, were, सीन, अपीयर एट्सेट्रा. मीन्स एडजेक्टिव ऑफ क्वालिटी एकमात्र एक ऐसा एडजेक्टिव है जो नाउन या प्रोनाउन से पहले भी यूज़ होता है और नाउन या प्रोनाउन से अलग भी यूज़ हो सकता है. दैट मीन्स वर्ब के बाद. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, शी इज़ ब्यूटिफुल, शी इज़ अ ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल. तो यहाँ पे ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल से पहले आ रहा है, हम इसको ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं शी इज़ ब्यूटीफुल. तो यहाँ पे ब्यूटीफुल सेपरेटेड फॉर्म में भी आ रहा है. सो द मेन थिंग अबाउट दिस एडजेक्टिव इज दैट दिस एडजेक्टिव कैन बी यूज्ड विद नाउन ऑल्सो एंड विदाउट नाउन ऑल्सो. The next adjective is adjective of quantity. Such adjective tell us how much of a thing is meant. That means the word which tells us about the quantity of a noun or pronoun is called adjective of quantity. For example, there is not much milk in the jug. No rice was served to the guest. There is enough water in the tank. Here in these sentences, much, no, and enough, these are the example of adjective of quantity. The main important things that you have to remember about adjective of quantity is adjective of quantity is used before uncountable noun. हमेशा क्या चीज़ याद रखनी है कि adjective of quantity हमेशा uncountable noun से पहले आता है, कभी भी countable noun के साथ नहीं आएगा. And it gives the answer of how much. किसी भी सेंटेंस में हाउ मच का आंसर क्वेश्चन पूछने पर हमें जो आंसर मिलेगा दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एडजेक्टिव ऑफ क्वांटिटी. For example, you can see on all the 3 sentences that milk, rice and water, all the 3 nouns are uncountable. Plus there is enough water in the tank. How much water is there in the tank? Enough. So enough is the adjective of quantity. So क्या चीज़ ध्यान रखनी है कि adjective of quantity is always used before uncountable noun, and the second thing you have to remember is adjective of quantity gives the answer of how much. The third adjective is adjective of number. An adjective of number tells how many persons or things are meant. That means a word that is used before a countable noun and tells about the number of a noun or pronoun, that is called adjective of number. For example, I have 2 pencils in my box. How many pencils are there in my box? 2. So here the word 2 is adjective of number. Saturday is the 6th day of the week. Saturday is the which day of the week? 6th. So here the word 6th is the adjective of number. I got second position in my class. Which position is got by me in my class? second. So here the word second is adjective of number. Now two important things you have to keep in your mind about adjective of number. The very first is it answers the question how many, and second is it is always used before countable nouns. Here you can see in all the three sentences that the word two, sixth and second, all the words are giving the answer of how many, and they are used before the words pencils, day and position. These words are countable nouns. Okay? Children, now I am going to tell you some important facts about adjective of number. Adjective of number which state the exact number of a noun are called cardinals. फॉर एग्जाम्पल 5 persons 8 balls. दैट मीन्स जो वर्ड्स हमें एग्जैक्ट नंबर बता रहे हैं दे विल बी कॉल्ड कार्डिनल्स. एंड एडजेक्टिव्स ऑफ नंबर विच शो इन वॉट ऑर्डर अ थिंग और अ पर्सन स्टैंड आर कॉल्ड ऑर्डिनल्स. और जो ऑर्डर को शो करते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल फर्स्ट पोजिशन, सेकेंड पोजिशन, थर्ड डे, फोर्थ वीक, सो दीज वर्ड्स विल बी कॉल्ड ऑर्डिनल्स. जो पोजीशंस को बताएंगे लाइक फर्स्ट, सेकंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ, ये तो क्या कहलाएंगे? ऑर्डिनल्स कहलाएंगे. और जो एग्जैक्ट नंबर होंगे 1 2 3 4 5 9 10, ये क्या कहलाएंगे? कार्डिनल्स. ओके. ऑल, मैनी, फ्यू, सेवरल आर ऑल्सो एडजेक्टिव्स ऑफ नंबर बट दे डू नॉट इंडिकेट द एग्जैक्ट नंबर. ये भी एडजेक्टिव ऑफ नंबर कहलाते हैं लेकिन ये किसी एग्जैक्ट नंबर को इंडिकेट नहीं करते. For example, there were few people in the hall. That means there were some people in the hall, although we don't know about the number of people, but we know that there were some people present in the hall. The next point is adjectives such as each, every, either and neither are used when the persons or things are taken one at a time. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एवरी मेंबर मस्ट कम इन टाइम. तो यहाँ पे एवरी से मतलब क्या है कि जो भी मेंबर्स आएंगे वन बाय वन उनको सबको टाइम पे आना है. So the main thing is each, every, either and neither. These words will also be included in adjective of number. Now what is the difference between adjectives of quantity and adjective of number? Adjectives of quantity are used with uncountable nouns like rice, sugar, milk, wood, steel, and they answer the question how much. For example, I have little milk in the glass. Milk is uncountable here, plus how much milk is there in the glass? Little. So the word little is adjective of quantity. Adjective of number are used with countable nouns like balls, men, pencils, etc. And second thing, they answer the question how many. For example, I have 2 pencils in my box. How many pencils are there in my box? 2. And the word pencil is countable. So the word 2 is also adjective of number. So the main thing is the word which is used with countable noun and give us the answer of how many will be called adjective of number, and the word which is used before uncountable noun and gives the answer of how much will be considered in adjective of quantity. The next is demonstrative adjectives. Such adjectives point out which person or thing is referred to. Demonstrative adjectives are used to point out a person, place or thing or any kind of object. For example, these mangoes are sour. Can you see that building? Those children played well. Here, this, that, these, those, such and certain are demonstrative adjective. Demonstrative adjective में कौन कौन से adjectives आएंगे? This, that, these, those, such and certain. Now the very important thing you have to keep in your mind is, as I have already told you in my previous video of pronoun, that there are some kinds which are common in pronoun as well as in adjective, and demonstrative adjective is one of them. Demonstrative adjective भी होता है और demonstrative pronoun भी होता है. This, that, these, those ये pronouns भी हैं और adjective भी हैं. Now what is the difference? The basic difference between pronoun and adjective is adjective के बाद हमेशा noun आता है और pronoun के बाद कभी भी noun नहीं आएगा. So the word this, that, these, those, if these words are followed by a noun or pronoun, then it will be adjective, and if these words stand alone, then they will be called pronoun. For example, that was a fantastic idea. अब यहाँ पे that के बाद कुछ भी नहीं है, was वर आ रहा है, तो ये क्या हो गया? pronoun हो गया. That idea was fantastic. यहाँ पे that के जस्ट बाद क्या आ गया? idea, and idea is a pronoun. तो यहाँ पे that क्या हो गया? adjective हो गया. ओके. अगर this, that, these, those इन words के जस्ट बाद में noun या pronoun आ जाता है तो ये adjective बन जाएंगे, और अगर इन words के जस्ट बाद में noun या pronoun नहीं आता तो ये pronoun कहलाएंगे. Okay, and this and these are used for the things which are nearby, and that and those are used for the things which are farther away. This और these पास की चीज़ों के लिए यूज़ होता है, and that and those दूर की चीज़ों के लिए. This and that are singular, and these and those are plural. These is the plural of this, and those is the plural of that. The next is interrogative adjectives. As you can assume by its name that interrogate means to question about, to ask about, to inquire about. These adjectives are used with nouns to ask questions. Plus, they are always followed by a question mark. For example, whose book is this? Which movie did you see yesterday? What time is it by your watch? Here the words whose, which and what are interrogative adjectives. Now again the same thing is there. Interrogative adjectives भी होते हैं और interrogative pronoun भी होते हैं. Now what will be the basic difference? The basic difference is interrogative adjectives are always followed by a noun or pronoun, while interrogative pronouns stand alone. कि interrogative adjectives के हमेशा बाद में क्या आएगा? Noun और pronoun, जबकि interrogative pronoun के बाद कुछ भी नहीं आएगा. For example, which is your book? Here द वर्ड विच स्टैंड अलोन, इसके जस्ट बाद क्या आ रहा है? हेल्पिंग वर्ब आ रही है, नाउन नहीं आ रहा, तो यहाँ पे विच क्या है? प्रोनाउन है. विच बुक इज़ योर्स. अब यहाँ पे विच के जस्ट बाद में क्या आ गया? बुक आ गया. तो बुक क्या है? नाउन है, तो यहाँ पे विच क्या बन जाएगा? एडजेक्टिव. अगर WH वर्ड के जस्ट बाद में नाउन या प्रोनाउन आ जाता है तो वो एडजेक्टिव बन जाएगा, और अगर नाउन या प्रोनाउन नहीं आता तो वो प्रोनाउन बन जाएगा. Now the last adjective is possessive adjective. Possessive adjective shows possession, belongingness. ठीक है? The words my, our, your, his, her, its, their are possessive adjectives when used with nouns to show who possess something. जब ये words किसी भी noun के साथ use होते हैं तो ये क्या बन जाते हैं? possessive adjectives, जो possession को show करते हैं. That means उसका, मेरा, तेरा, तुम्हारा, उनका. ये इस तरह की बिलोंगिंगनेस को, पोजीशन को जो वर्ड शो करते हैं वो क्या कहलाते हैं? पॉजेसिव एडजेक्टिव्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, दिस इज़ योर हेड, माई बुक्स आर ऑन द टेबल, हिज फादर इज़ अ बिजनेसमैन. ये तुम्हारी हेड है, मेरी बुक्स टेबल पे रखी हुई हैं, उसके फादर एक बिजनेसमैन है. The very important thing that you have to keep in your mind about possessive adjective is that not only possessive adjective but all the adjectives that possessive adjective will always be followed by noun. They can't stand alone. कि possessive adjective के बाद हमेशा noun आएगा ही आएगा, वो अकेले खुद से यूज़ नहीं हो सकता. For example, हम ऐसा नहीं कह सकते this book is my. That will be wrong. This is my book. ये सही sentence होगा. These were the 6 kinds of adjective. Now let's come and read how to frame an adjective, how to form an adjective. Children, adjectives can be formed by adding certain suffix to word. Now what is suffix? Suffix और prefix क्या होते हैं? Suffix are a group of letters added at the end of a word. Suffix वो group of letters हैं जो किसी भी word के last में जुड़ जाता है. For example, full. full से क्या हो गया? beautiful. able, depend plus able, dependable. full, shameful, beautiful, handful, faithful. less, hopeless, boneless, shapeless. OUS, dangerous, marvelous, adventurous. LY, entirely, fully, solely. Y, funny, airy, noisy, rosy. IVE, relative, productive. Able, readable, curable, dependable. EN, woolen, wooden, swollen. IC, artistic, futuristic, heroic. ED, injured, annoyed, troubled. ISH, whitish, feverish, childish, etc. So किसी भी नाउन के अंदर इस तरीके के सफिक्स को जोड़ के हम एडजेक्टिव बना सकते हैं. An adjective can also be made by using prefixes. Now what is a prefix? Prefixes are group of letters placed before a word. Prefix क्या होते हैं? Pre plus fix, जो किसी भी word के पहले लगते हैं. For example, un, unseen, in, indifferent. Some adjectives of the opposite or negative sense can be formed by adding prefix. कई बार क्या होता है? prefix लगाने से word का जो meaning होता है वो negative हो जाता है. For example, incredible, inexperienced, unseen, untouched, unorganized, unimportant, irrelevant, irreparable, irresponsible, improper, immortal, impersonal. The main thing that I want to say is by using suffixes and prefixes in nouns, you can make adjectives. Suffixes are the words which are used after the end of the word, and prefixes are the words which are used before a word. So, children, that is all for today's class. I hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you.